SJ.
That's it.
There you go, Gary.
SJ, Stone Goal. Gary Fife, Joe Jeff Gados.
Darren DeLongio, Jeff Gados.
Welcome to the 2017 election coverage. This is the first effort by Mvskoke Media to keep you up to the minute using today's technology.
We apologize for showing up a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties, but hopefully we will keep the live stream going and we will be on the air for you.
We will be able to, or hopefully, give you up-to-the-date vote counts as they are shared by the election board. Now, we have no control over any of that. They do, but we'll get them to you as soon as we can. And during our broadcast here, we'll be doing some special things like some prize giveaways.
Yeah, definitely. I know the first one's going to be coming up in about
This stuff right
10 minutes, and a couple things that we're going to be giving away.
No, we're going to do it right now.
Oh, we're doing a giveaway right now. As a matter of fact, we're giving away a Mvskoke Media mug and also one of our graphic T-shirts that our graphic design artist Mark Hill made.
And a bag.
And also, yes, I was trying to take that home, but that ain't going to work. But yeah, one of our bags as well that Mark Hill has made for us. So, we're going to explain the rules for the giveaway right now. Jared?
So we're going to pop a number up on the screen, and the first caller at that number is going to win the prize. And then when we found out in here that we got a winner, we're going to take the number down, and we're going to try to make that happen every 10 minutes. So if everybody get next to your phone, and the first one's going to go up right now. So call this number, win the first prize.
And we will get notified whenever that happens. Well, like we said, the reason why we're on here is because of the election, the Mvskoke Creek Nation National Council Seat B election. And we hope that you have been to your polls today to vote. Polls opened at 7 a.m. this morning, and if you haven't voted yet, you got less than 30 minutes to get to your polls right now. Gary, have you gone to your?
Oh yeah.
Were you able to vote? What was the the atmosphere? Was there a lot of people there?
No, the election board was volunteers were there, and while I was there, one other voter showed up. Now this was about 3:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Very quiet, and when I happened to glance over on the counter on the where you insert the ballots into the machine, and it read 60 at that point. So they said it was about as usual as they see. I was kind of wondering whether or not the football game was going to pull people away. But,
yeah.
I saw that that's a pay-per-view, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yikes.
And also other games will be going on as well. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't take that long to get there to your polls to be able to vote.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no, I was right on the way, so I popped in and out while I was out on errands. Now, this is the first election we have covered like this under the Freedom of Press Act that we have enjoyed so much over the past year. And so we're going to try and fulfill our duties there by bringing you the best information we can. Now, have you noticed any difference? Have you felt anything there?
With that, on this one, just pretty much as learn as we go. With me, with the freedom of the press, it had to be, had to learn something new, just be able to cover both sides. As a journalist, that's what you want to do. You want to be the unbiased person. You have to be the unbiased person in order to be able to cover both sides of the story. And I've seen that in our articles. I've seen that in other people's. I'm learning how to do that. And I mean, honestly, I am enjoying that. I am enjoying how to be able to let's just say, learn as I go.
Well,
especially with not only just the paper, but for the radio as well.
that is wonderful, because not too many tribes in the entire nation have the Freedom of the Press Act, to where their media can actually produce what they feel like the people need to know.
If I'm not mistaken, there's another one that turned over to, I think 5. Yeah, and you might correct me. I think Grand Ronde.
Grand Ronde in
yeah,
Oregon.
Yes, they're one of the. I guess they received one of the awards for the Free Press Award at the Naja Native American Journalists Association that we attended in Anaheim last week. They received that award, and they were telling us about they got the free press, and I think they went free press as well.
Well, not to blow our horn too much, but we won that award last year.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And we were so delighted to our friends at the Society for Professional Journalists who recognized that, and we won a major award from those folks. And then we turned around at Naja, and we were nominated again for another major award. And we have been profoundly enjoying our jobs now.
Hey, well, another thing we're going to bring up, please, we got these little gift prizes to give away. You see that number on the screen. Please give us a call. First caller wins these prizes. I mean, like I said, you get a shirt, you get a mug, and you also get a bag from Mvskoke Media free. And we'll be getting your name, and we'll be getting the number, and you'll figure out how we can get this to you. But please call this number and win this prize. That's what we're giving this away. I mean, everybody likes free stuff. We promise you. Trust me, we all do as well. Gary, I wanted to bring up, there was a series of questions, that Mvskoke Media has been covering the candidates, the candidates that are going to be running for the seat B. And a lot of them was about I guess a couple of the questions was about, blood quantum,
Right.
I know you did a little of, you did some, I guess, I wouldn't say research, but you also talked about it as well. So could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Well, what I have here is the BIA's certification of blood, Indian or Alaska Native blood. This is what the feds say about us. Our own tribe says a quarter. That's been a hot topic for years. People saying, well, we're facing a situation that's a double-edged sword. Mm-hmm. First of all, we want to preserve who we are, our people, culture, language, as much as we can. And others are saying, well, we're all losing so many people with those connections.
Mm-hmm.
They're just getting older and passing on. So that's the big question that we've heard time and time again, and a couple of times it's really gotten nasty on social media. So this is what we were looking at and trying to determine where we were going from that.
Okay.
But just one real quick quote from the BIA. It's computed from lineal ancestors of Indian blood who are enrolled in a federally recognized tribe or whose names appear on the designated base rolls of a federally recognized tribe.
All right, a little quick announcement. We do have one winner for our our guest prize. Yes, thank you. Crystal Littlehead. She won our first door prize. We'll be giving away another one here in about 10 minutes. Is that correct, Jared?
Yeah, as soon as Chelsea brings us the next one, I'm just setting this aside so we know that Crystal's going to get her thing.
All right.
Chelsea's going to bring us in another prize, and then we'll do the next one at that time, and the number will pop up. It's one prize.
One prize per person. Yes, we have
Make
to.
a choice.
Yes, one prize per person. So, Crystal Littlehead, congratulations on that. I know Gary just ended up talking about the blood quantum. We wanted to bring up another segment that we have as we have brought Mvskoke Media, Mvskoke Media reporter, was a camera lady. She does all things. Devaney Luxinger. She did an interview with Mvskoke Creek Nation National Council Seat B Creek District Representative Dodie Barnett, and she's outgoing representative for the Seat B. She's not doing the she's not running for this one, but we did Devaney did an interview with her to.
Real quick, Darren.
Sorry.
We're going to do the next. Sorry, Gary. We're going to do the next giveaway. It's going to be this Miko shirt.
All right, and
quick,
before we get back to Dodie, yes, the next shirt, the next prize we're giving away is our Miko shirt that was made by another one of our graphic design artists, Daniel Roberts. Personally, I mean, I love them both. I really do. I like wearing both of these shirts. So, yeah, this is a great prize right here. I know I see a lot of people wearing this. The number's on the screen. So, please, first caller, give us the holler about that, and then you get this shirt. So, but
By the way, these shirts are for sale.
also, yes, Gary's exactly right about that. We're also selling these shirts in case if you don't win it, doesn't mean you can't buy it. So, this shirt right here is for $10. And then also, we have that other shirt, the tricolor shirt. That's what I like to call it. It is $15. So we're going to do a quick. We want to bring up about Dodie Barnett. Of course, she's outgoing Seat B Creek District, and she was giving us a little bit of a kind of like, I guess, her what it takes to be a national council representative and what is going on with that. So without further ado, we're going to have Jared Moore.
Well, let's wait until we have to wait until the contest is over, Darren, because
Okay.
I can't
Disregard that.
Disregard
that.
we're gonna do it.
Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do that one. Let's.
But before you get away,
Yeah.
this represents a brand new energy coming from our graphics people.
Mhm.
I mean, we did not see this kind of thing till we got the shackles off, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then our crew in the back, our very talented crew, started coming up with this stuff. And then our marketing person,
right.
Chelsea, has done a magnificent job of making this material available.
Yes. They've done great things. All three of them have. I mean, our graphic design department. Oh, okay. And the number has been taken down off the screen, so that means we do have a winner for our second grand prize. It is Starla Plum. So congratulations, Starla, for winning this shirt. We'll be doing another prize here in about 10 minutes. So please, let's right now let's go to Dodie while we can.
So being on the council these past 5.5 years, to me, it has meant service, giving back, and being involved, being able to attempt to fix all of the things that we saw that needed fixing coming in. And some of those things have been successful and some of them not so much, but that's okay. When you're elected, I think in my brain coming in, I thought that there would be this orientation or a preparing when you get here, and there's really not right now. And I know that that's varied in the past. A lot of it is specialized, it's taste. Some of it is, up to the speaker. We don't have any set orientation policies, or we don't have any set policies or directives that help you those first few days. So the way the process works is you get elected, but you're not actually officially elected until after the election results are certified. So you're in limbo there for about a week. You're just in a holding pattern. There's nothing to do. There's no forward movement there for a few days. Once the election results have been certified, there's no challenges. Everything is a go. At that point, you come in and you talk to HR about your benefits. You meet the staff, and one of the things that was most challenging in the beginning was just knowing where to go to do what. So who has what responsibilities and what committee you're going to be on. You won't know that until after the inauguration. And so at the beginning, it's just getting all of your materials, ordering your equipment, getting your books, and getting prepared mentally. I would advise or just recommend for any of the new council people coming in that you familiarize yourself with the policies and procedures and any law that you can, because we're legislators, we follow the law, we write law, and so if we don't know the law, then we are at a disadvantage coming in. Misconceptions about council representatives and our roles and responsibilities. So I think the biggest one is that people think that we handle day-to-day operations. So for example, if you get turned down at social services, a lot of people will call us. And I have absolutely no qualms. I am happy to advocate or assist in those instances. But whenever it comes to working with the departments themselves, the departments have privacy policies that they have to follow, especially on the healthcare side. People will call you in trying to navigate the healthcare system, And I will say, after Mr. Terry came in, my calls greatly reduced regarding healthcare. I think that they're doing a much better job of being responsive and being on top of those situations. But people will call you and their privacy concerns, because we're not bound, we're not employees of the nation, so we don't have access. We can't go over and say, okay, here's your file and this is what we're going to do. And they, I think, sometimes expect us to come in and step in and tell those employees what to do. And we don't have that authority, nor should we. That actually falls under the administrative branch. Advice to upcoming representatives: get ready. You're in for a ride. So I think that you have to be very tough-skinned. No matter how tough-skinned you think you are, when you get here, it's a whole new ball game. Henry Ford once said, you can't make everybody happy, but you can sure make them mad all at the same time. Some days it'll feel like that. Some days it'll feel like the whole world's mad at you, and you just have to be convicted and know that what you're doing is right. And so always be prayerful and be responsive to the people and be open-minded. If someone comes and they tell you a story and it just sounds horrible and it makes you mad and it makes your blood boil, be sure and get the other side of that story before you go and try to advocate or take any actions, because there's always at least two sides to every story. And sometimes I think that once you get on council, most people on council that I've known, you have a big heart, you have a servant's heart, and you want to respond to those people. And we just have to be very careful and very diplomatic about the way we respond in any situation. So just always remember to talk to the frontline workers. So if you have a bill about education, talk to the educators, because just because we're making laws or passing these contracts doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing. The people, boots on the ground, that's where you want to be, because that's where you get the most response, and that's where you really see the whole situation and you get the most energy invested back into you too, because sometimes it's really easy to be insulated in the mound building and not know what's going on outside of the mound building. So just always being responsive and talking to people and just enjoying your time, and make sure your family's ready. They'll hear things about you that will make them very mad, but make sure that they've just got tough skin like you and say, you know what, don't worry about that. We know we're on the right track. I think the only thing that I would add is just that it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to serve my people, and it's just been amazing, the response and the love and support and just inspiration. Creek people are amazing, so keep being amazing. Hello?
And that was a message from former council member Dodie Barnett. She is one of the candidates that's been there for a bit.
Mm-hmm. I think she said 5.5 years.
Yeah, and one of the things that we hear as reporters, the phrase recycle candidates. So the same names keep popping up. Mm-hmm. I don't know, were you familiar with the term?
I have heard the term once or twice. I've been meaning to look into it, but, forgive me on that. I guess I haven't. I have not really, I heard the term, but just haven't done my research. So by all means, please fill me in like you're filling our audience.
Well, term limits might be something part of a future discussion now.
I'm going to punch in here, Gary, with 6:50.
Okay.
So we've got another giveaway. We're going to give away a bag this time. I'm going to pop the number up in just a second. When the number's on the screen, the first caller will win the bag.
We'll win the bag. So please, whenever you pop the number up on the screen, give us a call, please.
Okay, now, I looked into it a little bit. I want to say thank you to the folks over at the election board. For the past 2 primary elections, we saw about, let's call it 8 to 10 names that had recurred a couple of times there. And for instance, in 2013, there was Adam Jones in McIntosh. For Mvskoke, it was Joyce Deere and Eddie Legron. For Mvskoke, it was Mitch Jack. And in Tulsa, it was Sam Alexander and Lucian Tiger. Now, that was in 2013, and those are names that are still around. That people have expressed interest in being part of our national council. So we followed that up a little bit here, and for 2015, the latest election that we saw, the names Tony Bell for Creek District, Franklin Coachman for Mvskoke, Grover Wynn for Mulgi, Sam Alexander in Tulsa, Edwin Marshall in Tuckabutchee, Timothy Jackson Jr. in Wagner District A, and that was it. Now, a number of them, of course, were elected to office, but there was some discussion that I think hooks into state and national elections of the same names and people popping up.
All right, guys, we got a winner.
Repeating. Okay, I understand we have a winner here.
We do have another winner, Marcella Giles. Congratulations, Marcella. You win the Mvskoke Media bag, so we will be getting your number to get that bag to see how we can get that to you. So again, Marcella Giles, congratulations.
We have a second here to thank everyone who's tuned in and checking us out. This is our first effort at this, and a little rough and ragged here and there, but we're going to make our way through it, and we'll get you the latest results we can.
And I think if I'm not mistaken, we got less than 10 minutes before the poll closes for the National Council seat B election.
Now, how is that happening? Are they sending this to us, or do we hook into their system?
I think, Jared, do you have that
Yes.
answer?
Let's pop it up and we'll take a look, guys. We've got information coming straight from the company that's providing it to the election board, and we're going to get the results as soon as these meters start propagating and we get some percentages. We'll go to this thing and we'll start giving you guys updates on results. But as you can see right now, we're at 0 on everything. So. And
one other thing, we're not sure right now. Well, as of right now, it does take about a minute to funnel through all those. Is that correct?
It'll cycle, and we'll kind of explain that when we get to that.
Okay.
The next thing we have scheduled is around this period, Kevin should be calling into the studio to do a phone interview from the McCombs building where the election office is.
And another thing to bring up to everybody who is watching and listening, if you missed the primary election, and I mean, if you did not vote or even register to vote, but you do want to do that for the general election, you can do that. Even though you missed the primary election, you can register and vote or even vote in the general election. The registration opens for the absentee and precinct, that begins September 20th. Now we got to remember, even after the election, the results of these, they are not, finalized until official until September 22nd, 5 p.m. That's when they are official. The results will be official. So we have pretty much less than a week to unofficially for the results.
Right. That's not too bad, but what they've got to do is make sure that all the votes were legitimate. None of the practices that have been happening in other elections where people have passed on or registering to vote or voting twice or things like that. So that's what we're looking out for. And, my hat's off to the election board folks for tackling a job like that. And,
I mean, I know with the election board as well. I mean, they're there from like 7 a to 7 p.m. I think they go a lot later. I know, if I'm not mistaken, the people at the polls, they only go till 7 p.m. I think they just clean up and leave. But the election board, they have to stay until everything is done. I remember one time when I was working on the website, when we had to upload, I guess they had to count those challenge votes. And we had to stay I had to stay till 5 a.m. that morning. That's Sunday morning. And
poor thing.
Yeah, that was a rough one. But I mean, we understand that we're just trying to get the information out to the people. So that's the way that we had to do it. I mean, we knew a lot of them were asleep, but we also knew that some were going to be awake and they needed that information.
Well, we're glad that they've got an upgraded system where they can do this. I remember some of the election coverage that I worked on in Alaska for the local public radio and commercial TV, is that we could be at it all night. Not only we get the votes finalized as best we could, then we got to prepare the material for the morning news shows. So we're up all night.
Yeah.
So about 6 in the morning when that first anchor hits, like we're asleep at the desk. But this is so much better.
Yeah. I was wanting to bring up on one of the things that National Council Rep Dodie Barnett brought up was having a thick skin. And that I think that affects everybody, but it really is going to go out to them too, because like you said, we always say that the National Council, our elected officials work for the people. So they're going to be getting calls all hours of the day, all hours of the night, and they're going to be telling them what they think the tribe needs to be doing. So sometimes you're not going to agree with it, and sometimes they're just going to say you're not doing a great job, but you have to have that thick skin. So it does take a certain kind of person to be able to handle that. That's the point. I mean, from what it sounds like, they're taking those calls. They're giving them the call back, or they're just seeing them out there shopping at the grocery store. But they're constantly being talked to.
They're answerable to the people. I mean, with our enhanced media coverage, we can put more information out. And if a citizen stops somebody to ask some rather pointed questions, then we think we're doing our job, and it's getting down to where it needs to be. And so those representatives have to keep their finger on the pulse.
And the way with social media is going nowadays, I mean, email is another way to get in touch with them. Also a lot of the national council reps are on Facebook. They have their own little things right there, and of course those take messages as well. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that they get those messages that way.
We want to make sure that our citizens take the time and do their duty in contacting. If there's something you don't like or something you know of, or perhaps a suggestion you'd like to make for an idea, a program, or an improvement here somewhere, then do it. I mean, they like to hear the good stuff too, rather than people just barking at them all the time.
Well, let's see. How much time we got left before the poll closes?
About 3 minutes or so.
And we're also going to do a giveaway right at 7 too. So.
Okay, that's another thing. Our technical producer Jared Moore brought up. We got another giveaway at 7 p.m. When the poll closes, we'll be having another prize. Do you know what the prize will be this time, Jared?
It is going to be one of these mugs here. Let's see if I can.
Yes, one of our Mvskoke Media mugs that. I'm hearing it's a hot commodity. Literally, I mean, a lot of people do. I do see it around. I am seeing it around, not just here, but all over the place. I mean, I'm seeing that mug there.
Yeah, as with all of the items that our graphics people have produced. I got stopped in a Quick Trip up in Glenpool a couple of weeks ago, and some girl looked at my Stajati T-shirt, the one with the skull on.
Yeah.
And she said, "Where did you get that?" I said, "Well, our department at the Mvskoke Nation produces these. If you're interested, they are for sale."
Yeah.
She said, "Wow, far out, man." I hadn't heard that in a long time. But she said she would go down and get one.
Hopefully she does. Hopefully we'll see her. I mean, because, yes, we love those shirts. They are great. They're just great designed by our graphic design artists.
Yeah, they're kind of fun to wear.
Exactly,
it's,
yes.
I think, a leap forward in the graphics presentations.
It's something new. I mean, that's what I enjoyed about it. It was like really something new. I mean, it wasn't I guess just something like ordinary. I mean, they really took a design and they just went with it. Yeah. And I mean, even with our Mvskoke Media logo, they did a lot of great things with that. I mean, it was just only like setting a lot of things for things to come.
Yes. Now, you mentioned earlier that we would be hearing from Kevin Barnett. I believe this will be the first time we'll ever get a first-hand call from Election Central over in the McCombs building. We have a reporter there who will be calling us to let us know what he sees, what people might be saying. If he has some numbers or anything, if we haven't got them by now, he'll be able to share those.
For those who don't know, I mean, Kevin Barnett just recently started with Mvskoke Media.
Right.
I'm going to say less than a month ago, right? And he pretty much jumped in and has been going strong ever since. He's been doing a lot of research.
It's go time.
He's been okay.
It
is go time.
Yeah, for the mug.
All right, it is go time for the mug. So please, when this number pops up, be the first caller. There we go. So be the first caller and get this mug as a prize, please.
That's kind of exciting.
So that means if that's go time for the mug, that means the polls are closed for National Council Seat B election.
Doesn't look like we have any results yet, though.
No results as of right now, but we're pretty sure that they will be coming in, or we're hoping they will be coming in here pretty soon.
Give them a minute or two at least.
Yeah. So
this is kind of nice to see us be able to hand this information to our listeners, our citizens, our residents, our kinfolk out there like that. And we are just so glad that we're able to do this.
And another thing we want to bring up, if y'all's watching, is if any at-large citizens who are not within the Mvskoke Creek Nation boundaries, y'all can still win this too. So, I mean, this is for y'all as well. We'll get this to you. So don't be afraid to call it in as well. I mean, the number's on the screen for you as well. So if you are out in California, Tennessee, anywhere like that, please give us a call as well. I mean, plus it'd be kind of cool that we know that we got y'all out there to be able to, that y'all's listening to us and watching this right now. And that'll be a great thing to hear. So, but we're, like I said, we're just patiently waiting on the results to start coming in. And we think that the polls are closed. And also right now we got a winner. Sherry Wani, winner of the Mvskoke Media mug. So, Sherry Wani, congratulations. I'm pretty sure they're getting your number to be able to get this mug to you. So, again, Sherry, congratulations on that.
We appreciate everyone who's taken the time to watch us. I know there are so many other distractions on television, but if you've got one eye over there on the tube and one eye over on your computer, that's fine with me.
We're
because
fine with
you're
that,
staying informed. Now, we made a real concentrated effort this summer and this fall to impress upon our citizens that they need to vote. They need to take part in this responsibility, if you will.
Well, it looks like we're getting some.
Here we go.
We're getting some results coming in.
Oh, okay. All right,
we're going to
let's
go ahead and move to our screen to the results page right now, and looks like on this one for Adam Jones, the third for the McIntosh district is in the lead. Like I said, this is early. These are the results coming in, but like I said, it just looked like 2 votes as of right now.
Right.
So. They're coming in. I mean, we're just we're
We
gonna
should
be
also
waiting.
mention at this time we can't actually select these districts or like pause this slideshow that plays here or anything like that. So each district is going to appear and it'll cycle in about a minute.
Okay.
And we can't stop it or anything. Just so the audience knows, it looks like we could select stuff, but I don't think that we can. We were trying earlier and we weren't able to.
And if you notice, if you look on the on the left of that screen, it seems that there's a check mark right by the absentee. So I'm pretty sure that means the absentee voters are being counted right now. It could be that. I could be wrong, or we'll just have to see, or maybe that's what we can ask whenever we get to interview the election board. So, but yeah, as of right now, these are the results that are starting to come in for the 2017 primary election for the National Council Seat B. Now, Gary, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Can you go ahead, please?
I'd rather do that.
Yeah, I'd rather go back to that. But yeah, Gary.
Yeah, I think we're just going to stay on this and we can do our color commentary. If Kevin calls in while we're doing this, we'll just do the interview. Because if it's okay with you guys, we'll just leave these results up. If somebody tunes in, they can
let's go ahead and
see them as we see them.
Now, a couple of these races look like they're really showing a major trend there, and that may be the way they end up. Now, just after I say this, we get one of 50-50.
You know, one
votes.
Yeah. Another thing to bring up as well, especially with these elections, like if, say, for instance, if you see one of these, I guess, districts that has 2 or more people, and if they win, if one of the candidates wins, I guess is 50% and 1 vote. I might have to get that corrected with our editor, Jessica McBride. But if they win it by 50% and 1 vote, they outright win that. Now the ones that have districts that have just 2 candidates, I believe they won't have a general election. They'll just have. This is their winner right
Kevin's
here.
coming back. He's going to come up. They're going to transfer him in right now, guys.
Okay. All
Just
right.
hit
So.
that speakerphone button when it rings.
Yeah. All right. We're waiting on our Mvskoke Media reporter, Kevin Barnett, to be able. Here he is.
Oh, Kevin, are you there?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm over here at the election office. There's a few people out here just watching the results. They didn't let anybody in until 7 o'clock, and right now there's a few people just surrounding the monitor they have out here as the election results come in.
Are any of those people the candidates?
No, they don't have any candidates. I think they're just all citizens, just interested in the direction that the tribal government's heading.
Exactly.
Well, probably the candidates are at their own watch parties. Do you hear any chatter from the people who are assembled there? Any surprises or yays or nays, that kind of thing?
No, I think from what I'm hearing, as they're watching the monitor, I mean, they're kind of their respective districts that they're watching. I think they're kind of saw the results coming. Like, I mean, they're not acting surprised at all. I think they already kind of knew who was going to be the forerunners in these elections.
I see. Were you able to? I guess. I don't know. Did you? I'm sorry. Let me scratch that question again. Here's a new question for you, Kevin. When you were able to vote today, I already asked Gary this too. Was there quite a bit of people there, or were you able to make it out to the polls?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Were you able to make it out to the polls today to cast your vote as well?
You know what? I saw there were a few people in here that even some of the workers. Like I've been asking everybody, well, you know, were you able to vote today? And I'd say, you know, there were a few that just, I mean, a few employees that didn't go vote. I think I think they were a little more interested in the general election than the primaries.
I really don't get that. You know,
Yeah, I
really.
don't either. If you're going, you can select a horse to run in the race, and why wait until somebody tells you who's going to run? Now, you did vote yourself today, right?
I didn't get registered in time.
Oh my gosh!
Well, I mean, that's another. Kevin Barnett brought up a good point right there. If you didn't get registered, we do have they do open the registration again on September 20th. So you can get registered to vote for the general election, like he was saying that the other ones we're waiting for as well. So that's another thing to bring up as well. If you didn't make it to the primary election, please, we want you to vote in the general election for this one. So that will open September 20th.
Right, that's registration for precinct and absentees. So we hope that you can do your duty there.
Some of the guys here, you know, I think that's one good thing about the way that the media department's covering the elections is, I think it's just a matter of getting the word out there a little more, be a little more vocal about some of the resources out there and available to the voters. I mentioned that there were videos of the different candidates, and you know, the couple of people I talked to weren't aware of them, and weren't aware that they were that the Mvskoke Media did interview them and, you know, pose the same questions to every candidate. So I think that's just one of them things that I think we as the media department just need to just kind of get that word out there a little more.
No, I absolutely agree with you. It's something new for our citizens. This kind of coverage they've never seen before, and many are still, I would imagine, thinking that this is the way it used to be, and this is the way it will be, and this is the way I'm going to do it. But there are so many new options out there. I mean, the TV show does it. We make mention of it on the radio, Mvskoke Radio, and of course in the newspaper. And we just had a major section in the newspaper looking at all the candidates who have responded and putting their platforms out there. Now, you will be staying there and keeping an eye on the results and the crowd there, right?
Yes, I'll be over here.
Okay. Well, we'll kind of get out of your way for the moment, and we'll be talking to you again real soon. So give us a call.
Okay, Gary.
Talk to you later, Kev.
Now, we saw on the board there the vote numbers starting to come up.
Yeah, vote numbers are starting to come up, and also another prize is going to be coming up as well. So
We're giving away this
Stajati
T-shirt right here.
That is,
Pop the number up, and we'll go back to
that is the
I'm
Stajati
going to go back to the
t-shirt.
election
Stajati
results
t-shirt.
while the number is up, and then
Okay.
we'll take it down whenever we're there. So
there we go. Numbers
right.
popped up. So please be the first caller to win that shirt. So we'll be waiting for you, and we'll announce your name here on the live stream as well. Like Gary just said, the votes are slowly but surely they're coming in.
Yeah, we're seeing where Joyce Deere has got a lead there in her district, as Sandra Golden. Not huge numbers on a number of votes, but I think it's significant that we're seeing these, that our citizens are making these decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I was just going to say it's interesting too that they're giving percentages for the number of votes. So it's like, do they already have all the votes in? Like, how's that percentage working? How do they know the percentage?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like the total votes? Like, I guess it would be the total votes that they have displayed right now. It's percentage breakdown.
Right.
So
I think so, yeah. Another thing you wanted to bring, and what Kevin brought up, was how some of the people, I guess, that weren't able to see the candidates be able to see the questionnaire that the people didn't get to see the candidates questionnaire that us as Mvskoke Media were able to host. Now with the general election coming up, before I go back to that, what I was bringing up, Chloe Bell is the one that called in and won the Stajati t-shirt. So Chloe Bell, congratulations. They're pretty sure they're getting your number to get the info on how to get that to you. So again, Chloe Bell, and like Gary said earlier, we want to thank everybody for being on the live stream and keeping up with the election poll results just as much as we are right now. What I was bringing up was for the general election, when it has the top two, we're going to be doing. Is it okay to bring that up about the debates?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. And
Do you guys have the schedule for the debates?
I do not have the schedule
Let me
yet.
go grab it for you. You guys go ahead.
What Jared's going to be getting right now, and Gary and I are going to be bringing up is about the National Council. We're going to be having debates for the general election. That's going to be starting up here, I'm going to say relatively, probably within the last week of this month, and it'll be going all into October. Mainly the reason why is we want to have those debates up and for everybody to view before the National Council general election. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is November 4th, correct?
That is the 4th.
All right, awesome. So, and also we want to bring up as well, if you weren't able to vote in the primary election, that doesn't mean you can't vote in the general election. I mean, a lot of people don't think that their voice is not heard or anything. Trust me, it is. Your voice is heard whenever you vote. So we want you to be able to go to go to your the election board and be able to register again. The registration begins September 20th. They open up for the general election, both absentee and precinct. So please get out there and vote. Register, and so when the general election comes around, you can vote. So Gary, before we got to scramble mode right there, I wanted to go back to what you were talking about, what we were doing for this election.
The chance to do this kind of coverage is a real blessing. We were able to put some candidates on the spot. We didn't necessarily get the answers that we wanted to see, but we wanted to get our viewers and our listeners and our readers the real kind of stances that people are taking or not taking. That's critical. You got to know where a candidate stands, I think, to make an informed decision. The schedule of debates is where we will be able to hopefully pin them down and say, okay, well, you kind of waffled on this earlier, but what is your thoughts? And now, how will you decide which way will you be voting on this issue for the Mvskoke people?
Mm-hmm. Jared just brought back to me what we were talking about, the debates for the general election. I'm going to go ahead and read off the dates, and ladies and gentlemen, if you don't get them all marked down or anything like that, don't worry, we'll be bringing them up again.
You can also go to MvskokeMedia.com, and on the candidate info page, there's a PDF that's the 2017 candidate profile PDF. All of this information is actually in there, and Darren's got it up there right now.
And this is it, and I'm going to scroll down to where the general election debates will be at before we go back to the polls. If you look with me, Creek District, it'll be on Monday, September 25th at 2 p.m. McIntosh, Monday, October 2nd at 2 p.m. Also, you got Mvskoke District. That'll be Tuesday, October 3rd. And Mvskoke will be Monday, October 9th. Okmulgee District will be Tuesday, October 10th. Tukabuchi District will be Monday, October 16th. Tulsa District will be Tuesday, October 17th. And then Wagner, Rogers, and Mays will be Monday, October 23rd. And right now I want to go ahead and get back to the polls. And it seems like we're getting some progress going right here. We're looking at the Creek District right now with, now we're going into McIntosh District with Adam Jones. Looks like he's in the lead, right in 38 votes. Like we said, it's fairly early. Tom Pickering had 29, if I'm not mistaken. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at it just like we are. So we hope that you just were able to get out there today and were able to get your vote. So, but other than that, Gary was right how we were trying to do that extensive coverage, especially in getting that questionnaire out to our candidates to be able to just give us some answers that pretty much a lot of the people wanted to hear, the citizens that wanted to hear.
During those pre-taped profiles we did, we heard a lot of those candidates use the phrase, "what the people want." And for me, that might be a little disturbing, just personally. that they weren't giving an answer. They weren't taking a stand. I feel like if you're going to get up there and ask for a person to throw their decision your way, then they ought to know where you stand. It's nice to say, well, we will defer to the people, but that raises a silly question. Then why have representatives?
Exactly. I mean, it feels like, and the people are going to be going to you for their, what they want you to do. I mean, so you kind of have to, I guess, what's the word? Take that stand.
Right. Yeah. It's not a huge criticism, but I think it makes a clearer picture of that person. It gives you an idea of the way they're kind of put together, what they'll fight for, what they think is right and wrong, and perhaps the extent they'll take that fight. So we're hoping that in the next few opportunities we have, that they will respond with some good, solid answers there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jerry.
We just wanted to mention that if any citizens have any questions or they want to have any statements or anything to talk to us, you can call the main number here at Mvskoke Media. It's the same number from the prize giveaway. Or you could go into the chat on the YouTube and post any questions or make a statement in the chat, or on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. So we're here live, and we'll take any citizen statements or comments too, in addition to our regular coverage.
And there's a couple of questions that was brought up that, they, in that little candidate profile that we were doing, and one of them was like, what party, where do you register the party as a party, like a candidate, like Democrat, Republican, Independent.
Right.
I know a lot of them have concerns on that one. But the reason why we brought that up is there's sometimes when National Council will, send, have vote to see if they can give money to a candidate for their candidacy, and some of them might be Democrat, some of them might be Republican,
Right. Now, we're not trapped in our own little world. We have to deal with state issues and also federal. So it's kind of nice to know to what extent someone might be committed to a particular political party. Right now, the Republicans are in control. Will a Republican council member or representative of our tribe have more say-so with somebody upstairs in Washington, D.C.? We also saw in those profiles that some of those candidates kind of went way off the track involving issues and things that really did not answer the question. We'll be watching that sort of thing and calling them. You say, well, perhaps you should need to answer the question nice and simple. Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, whatever they choose, and let people know rather than trying to cater to everyone. I mean, that doesn't seem to work for me.
Yeah, we also got a couple of dates that. We'll also be doing another grand prize, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be coming up here within a minute. Like I said, like what we normally do, we'll pop that number up on our screen, which is our main number. As soon as that number comes up, please give us a call. First caller wins this next prize. So we'll be doing that here pretty shortly. So please stay tuned.
Actually, it just turned time.
We're going to be doing that right now. So
we're going to give away another bag here, tote bag.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So as soon as that number pops on the screen, go ahead and give us a call. There you go. And we will be waiting for somebody to call in to announce their name and the winner of that bag. So we are back to the election results right now, and it looks like they're still covering the absentee vote. So
right, 1 out of 19 polling places are reporting. We will, of course, see those numbers change as the other districts come in, but these are, right now, you're seeing the numbers on the absentee votes. Interesting that the absentee folks are showing up, it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah, especially on, we got, looks like over 100 so far. I mean, they're counting 133 for Adam Jones, 105 for Tom Pickering. So, I mean, it's coming in, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got a winner for the tote bag, Mvskoke Media tote bag, Lana Harjoshi. Lana, congratulations on the tote bag, and they will get your information down so you can get your prize. Again, congratulations, Lana, and we also like to thank everyone for keeping up with us on the live stream as we're, like I said, we're going along right with you for our the poll results. A couple of things I was wanting to bring up as well. Kevin Barnett, before he took off to the McCombs building, he gave us some information about when the poll, like I said, when the registration for the precinct and absentee opens up. Like I brought that up earlier, that was September 20th. But there's also some whenever the absentee registration closes. That is October 12th. And for those to be able to register for that, to be able to register for that, you have to be in by 5 p.m. October 16th, the absentee ballots for the general election will be mailed out. So you'll have that time. And if I'm not mistaken, the November election, for the November election, the absentee votes must be received by 10 a.m. on that day, on November 4th. Now, of course, with the precinct votes, you got till 7 p.m. November 4th to vote.
Yes, yes. It's interesting to see the vote totals on the screen now, and the way they've changed. And a couple of these battles are really tight that we're seeing. Some had a candidate leading 1 minute, and then the next they're not.
It changes, yeah. It just changes that quick. And but like we said, we're also talking about we're in the early ones. We haven't even got the reporting locations of the other polling places.
Yeah.
Yes. So right now it is still just the absentee that's going on as we speak.
I just wanted to tell everybody we were scheduled to wrap the stream at 8, but the way the results are coming in, we're probably just going to keep going until we get more of an idea here, because we don't have any of the actual places reporting.
No.
And it's about almost 7:30. We're also got another giveaway coming up at 7:30. It's going to be a mug, and we'll pop it on the screen a little bit later.
Pop that mug on the screen, and we'll also be putting the number on there as well. So please stay tuned for that. Like we're following with y'all. Mvskoke District right now they're showing. Now it's Milwaukee District. Looks like James Jennings is in the lead with 92 votes, but we know it's really early. That could all change, like Gary said. Thomasine Osborne, Tukabuchi District, 92. So this is what it's showing right now, and also right there as Speaker of the National Council currently is Lucian Tiger with 92 votes.
The third.
Lucian Tiger the third.
Yes.
My apologies, Lucian.
Well, you think we're going to have an all-nighter then if we stick with this?
Oh wow.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Are you ready for cold pizza and coffee for breakfast, guys?
If all else fails, we'll keep these results that we're streaming right now, the video part. We'll keep the video part going even if we have to go home because there's no commentary. I'll stay until we get 100% on those bars and then shut it down. But right now we're rolling, and we're going to keep doing giveaways until we run out of prizes, which could take a long time. So.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to, while we're looking at these results, I can play the audio from Doty's interview that we ran earlier in the program for people that might have tuned into the stream later, and they can listen to Doty's comments. Do you want to try to do that?
Yeah,
please,
I think that's worth repetition there.
And it'll be worth for them to listen to these new candidates.
Okay.
Oh, hold on a second.
So it's interesting to see these totals change like this. 1 second you're thinking, oh, I know that person. And then all of a sudden they're in second place, and some of them kind of never got out of the gate, really. But
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead
tribal
and-
politics.
We got that feed ready, or we got that
Let me
audio
see how
ready?
much time. Actually, we don't have enough time to do it before we do a giveaway.
Okay.
We'll have to try to get it on the next
No
between
worries.
30 and 40.
No worries at all on that. So
We've got 5 minutes till our next giveaway.
okay, so right now it looks like Mvskoke District, George Deere is on the lead with that with 290 votes. Mvskoke, Sandra Golden, 170, and then Franklin Coachman is 121. I could try and read that quicker, but I know that screen will change. So
Do you guys need to take a break and get up, stretch your legs, use the bathroom? We can take a little break from the commentary and play some music, and they can watch. We can keep the results going. Would you like
Yeah,
to?
let's take
We're
a
gonna
break
take
from
a
us.
quick 5-minute break or so, guys. We'll be back at 7:30 to do the 7:30 giveaway and some more commentary.
So please stay tuned to the live stream from Mvskoke Media.
Okay, everybody, we're going to pop the number up so that you guys can see to call in for the mug.
There is the number, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mvskoke Media studio line. First caller will receive this Mvskoke Media mug. And like I said, again, thank you very much for staying with us for the live stream for the National Council Seat B election. One of the things that we want to bring up, and come on over here, and we want to talk about two of these districts will have an outright winner tonight. Outright winner. Let me say I got that. Let me say that right. It'll be Wagner, Rogers, and Mays, and also McIntosh. Wagner, Rogers, and Mays has both Mark Randolph on the screen right there and Timothy Jackson Jr. So we'll have a winner that, and they won't be in the general election. And also on McIntosh district, it's Adam Jones III and Tom Pickering.
Right.
So like I said, for those two, there they are on the screen right now. Whoever wins tonight will be the winner for that seat, for that district. I mean, I apologize. Yeah, for that district. So that's what we're waiting on. On the other ones, I did get, I think I got it right, but our editor corrected, made sure I was going to say it right. But whoever wins the district outright with 50% plus one vote will be the winner of that district. So if the one candidate gets that 50% plus one vote, they win that district as well. The numbers off the screen, which means we do have a winner of the Mvskoke Media mug, and that one is Emily Bell. Emily Bell, thank you very much, and congratulations on the mug. Trust us, coming from us, yes, it does keep your coffee hot. We know for a fact. We use them quite a bit. So, but back to the election results right now. Looks like on Creek District, George Tiger is in the lead with 396. McIntosh, Adam Jones III is in the lead with 625. Tom Pickering 390.
Now look at the numbers of the votes here. We're seeing huge jumps from the double digits we began with for the first almost hour, and now all of a sudden they're in the hundreds. So
Yeah.
we're seeing,
Exactly. I mean, that was like, we just went and took a break earlier. We just took a break a couple minutes ago, and yes, these numbers have jumped quite a bit from that time. I mean, I'm hoping it was just a 5-minute break. It could have been longer, and if it was, we apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But these numbers have jumped quite a bit, so that means these tallies are coming in as we speak, and we hope and pray it's not an all-nighter, but we'll keep you updated. We'll let you know by 8 o'clock on what we're going to be doing. I know Jared mentioned it earlier. I'll wait for him to come back to mention that again. So, but with
now, as we mentioned earlier, this is still absentee votes that we're seeing being counted here. And when we get into the local districts here, I think we'll see an amazing change there as the numbers go up. Because look at what we're seeing, 745 here from an absentee ballot. I mean,
last couple elections, I mean, we noticed that they had, like a total, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, or because I'm not sure on the number, I'm just giving a roundabout, but maybe, was it like a little bit under 5,000 or a little bit over 5,000 or something like that for like number of votes?
I think it was even worse than that.
Okay.
Somewhere about 3,500-ish, somewhere like that. And if we hit 4,000, that was wonderful.
there was at times when, and these are just people talking, just talking in the street, talking to me, and this is before I think I was with Mvskoke Media, but I remember at one time, whenever a lot of people would vote, some would vote, say for instance, a certain district, but they wouldn't vote in another district because they didn't, something was wrong with that, or they just didn't see the candidates. I mean, I always wanted to ask them why. They just would never give me a clear answer on that. It was like, excuse me, it was just like, why can't you vote? I mean, there's a whole ballot sheet, or that everybody, all the candidates are there.
Sorry, I just didn't want to interrupt real quick.
You're fine.
I just want to make sure that everybody watching the stream knows that you can only win one prize per time. So earlier we had some citizens call in for, who won a prize for her daughter. In the future, everybody gets one prize per giveaway. So FYI.
They got your numbers in there, and your names, ladies and gentlemen. So we already know that. So yes, just one prize per person.
Yeah, we're not taking anybody's prize away. But in the future, one prize per person, guys.
Yeah.
While we're still looking at the absentee numbers, remember the discussion we had with the new election board members? They were talking about examining an all absentee election where people sent all the ballots in and retained one or two maybe polling places for those people who wanted to do it in person. They said it had quite a success at Choctaw in going from like single digits way up into the double digits and getting people to respond. From the way we're seeing these numbers being counted now, I mean, there's got to be something to that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping that's what it is. Maybe they're looking at the other tribes to see what are they doing to get these results. Also, another thing, with the Mvskoke Creek Nation election, we do have both absentee and precinct voting. You can go, like you said, you can mail it in if you're an absentee voter, or come into the polls. I think there's certain tribes that do. We're looking here. Oh, we're getting a check mark near Mvskoke.
Mvskoke's checking in.
With their location. So it's 2 of 19 polling places that are reporting now.
I'm just going to interject here.
Go ahead.
We're also expecting Kevin to call in with an interview you guys at
Okay,
some point.
great.
Perfect.
We want to hear from him now.
Awesome. We're hoping to hear from him. Like I was saying, we had, I know with the Chickasaws deal, they only do absentee. Absentee. So you have to mail it in regardless, no matter what. You just they don't have no poll places. But I know a lot of people like coming into the polls. We have a lot of at-large candidates that can't do that. That's impossible to do that. So they'll send it in. But we also have a lot of them that they just want to come to the polls that day. And be able to cast their vote. Oh, yeah, and we mentioned this earlier. At-large citizens outside the jurisdiction, yes, you can win these prizes too. Whenever these prizes come up, and we post that number on the screen, you can call in as well. So please, by all means, if you're calling in from California, calling in from Tennessee, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, anywhere, yes, you can win it. We will get these prizes to you. And plus, like I said, like we mentioned earlier, it also shows that. We're getting watchers from all over the country, and we think that's pretty cool if you do that. So yes, citizens outside the jurisdiction can win a prize. So please, whenever that number pops up on the screen, please give us a call.
I'd be interested in seeing the feedback we can get from people watching tonight, and particularly outside the districts. What did they think of what we're doing now? Do they appreciate it? Do they find it useful and handy?
Absolutely. If you're on YouTube right now, you're watching, pop into YouTube comments and make a comment about what you think about the stream. And if you're watching through Facebook or any of those other things, go ahead and pop in a comment.
Right. And
Thank you, Jared.
Keep them civil, please.
Yes, please keep the comments civil.
Okima's now checking in.
Okima, okay, yeah. 3 of 19 polling places are reporting. Okima just is one of the recent one that just checked in, and it looks like right now Mvskoke District, George Deere is in the lead with 885. Eddie LeGrone in second with 388. Mvskoke, Sandra Golden, 481, and then next to that one, Franklin Coachman is 374. So Mulgi as well, James Jennings, who has been with the National Council for quite a bit of time. He knows what's going on, and I think a lot of citizens are there. I guess they do really like him and like what he's doing.
We're seeing a lot of these names that we mentioned that were recycled. They're still.
Okay.
All right,
Oh, sorry, Gary.
No,
Go
you're
ahead,
fine.
go ahead.
Let's
Go ahead and do
the-
a giveaway here. Let me pop up the camera so they can see what they're going to get.
There we
First
go.
caller is going to get the Miko shirt that we've seen before. All right.
All right, Miko's shirt. So please, first caller, call that number. Remember, citizens outside the jurisdiction can win that shirt too. So please give us a call. We'll announce the name of the winner here shortly. So, but back to our polls, and still right now 3 of 19 polling places, and the numbers are coming in. They are coming in. So we're patiently waiting right along with you, ladies and gentlemen.
We like to thank our own Vanna White, Jared Moore, there for popping those prizes up for us without even having to turn letters.
And we also like to thank everybody else at Mvskoke Media who are doing a great job. I mean, you right now, of course, I mean, whenever you go back to the screen, I mean, you're just seeing us two, but we got so many people here that are doing great things. Like you said, we mentioned Mark Hill, did an amazing job with the shirt. Also, Daniel Roberts, Chelsea Rich in our marketing. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's doing wonders with that. And I mean, and Jessica McBride,
we have to give her a hand. Before our broadcast started, she was about ready to beat her head on the wall. There's the technical difficulties coming in.
We were all worried about that. I know she was the one that was the most worried, but so far so good. So far so good. I mean, it was doing great, and but we want to say a big thank you to everybody else that you're not seeing right now, but they're doing majority of the work, if not more. We're just talking. So,
right. Remember when you produced the couple of radio shows where things weren't coming together?
Oh my goodness, yes. Oh my gosh, nothing will fall through. Yeah,
you got a taste of it there, so you
so
can imagine what poor Jessica McBride's going through. The technical end and the talent, the prize flow, making sure that we are connected with the election board. Putting all those things together.
Yeah, the number went down, so that means we do have a winner. Wanda Morrison, winner of the Mvskoke Media Miko shirt, correct? Mm-hmm. So, again, congratulations, Wanda, on that. And they're getting the information to get that to you. Back to the polls. 4 of 19. Bristow.
Good to hear from you, Bristow.
So, right now, it looks like Adam Jones McIntosh with over 1,000 votes right now. Joyce Deere. I mean, these numbers are coming in. They're going up as we speak. So we're just seeing them as we go. And like I said, whenever we're pretty sure the polling, they should all be coming in here pretty soon. I think we got a little mix-up on the Omogi district. Yeah, I think that's a glitch going on. Yeah, we don't know.
10,000 people voted in.
We're actually happy with those votes.
That's a great turnout. Yeah. That's a miracle turnout.
If I'm not mistaken, Jared and Gary, if maybe I could be wrong on this, but whenever a while back, whenever they had the elections going on, there was they would have to have those, escorted by a light horse, or by a certain member of the election board or whoever it was. But light horse was pretty much their security, was just patrolling right with them. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they took them pretty seriously, and I wouldn't mind seeing how these are going. I mean, are they pretty much? Is it electronically, or are they doing it the same way? Are they driving them in like those ballots?
Yeah, of course we heard the usual complaints of people saying there was stuffed ballot boxes and things like that, but with electronic system, those problems are eliminated, but brings up a brand new one. What if the Russians are trying to hack our election?
We hope not. We really but moving back to the polls, Lucian Tiger III, 613 votes for Tulsa District. Shara Giles in second with 419. Mark Randolph with 962. Timothy Jackson with 623 for Wagner, Rogers, and Mays.
And in case you're tuning in later to the stream, we're getting these results from a link provided to us by the election board, but we can't actually control when the pages change. We don't have any control over the slideshow of this. So if they pop up and they go off too fast or you couldn't see what the results are, it takes it about a minute to cycle. And so we can't select districts or anything. We're in the same boat with you. We're just kind of watching on these results.
However, we're getting them to you as we get them.
Yeah, exactly. So we're getting real time. So thank you, Jared, for that.
That's something to be proud of. That I wonder how many other tribes are getting this kind of election coverage. Even those with freedom of the press, I don't think they've got the mechanism, the machinery, the people. I mean, this ain't an easy job to take care of, but our people are getting it.
And one of the things that's funny, the audience didn't see, Gary, is earlier in the stream we had a wasp come in here. Yeah. So while you guys are doing your color commentary, I'm running around in the studio with a clipboard trying to smash a giant wasp.
Oh, we saw
silently.
Yeah, we saw that.
Did you see us fighting to keep a straight face?
We had to keep a smile on our face, ladies and gentlemen. We were just hoping that wasp would not land on one of the prizes, because it was during that time that we were giving away one of the prizes. I think it might have been the Miko shirt. So that's what we were worried about as well. That wasp was going to plop right there. And
it's also about 300 degrees in the studio right now because of the lights, and we can't have any air conditioning or fan on, so everybody's sweating.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome, because we put that screen up there instead of you seeing us right now. Back to the polls, still 4 of 19. The ones that are reporting in is Bristow, Mvskoke, Okemah, and the absentee votes.
Yeah, we're seeing now some candidates are beginning to pull ahead now. The last couple of races there were pretty tight when we first saw them, when they had, a minor number of votes, but now that they're in the hundreds, we're seeing some space in between them. And it looks like, there are decisions now not too far off, I guess.
Gary, with... I'm bringing back up the days when you were in Alaska, the all-night coverage. What was, I guess, those elections like, compared to the Mvskoke Creek Nation's elections? Was there different, like, I guess, was it absentee, was it precinct? Were there certain ways that they could vote, as well, or...
Well, remember, Alaska has these huge geography. Mm-hmm. You've got particularly native villages out in the middle of almost nowhere. They're on banks of a significant river or something like that. The only way you can get in is by boat, or you fly in because there are no roads. So we had to deal with that factor. But Election Central was a real competition, because we had 3 TV stations. We had our public station and a couple of the talk radio guys are in there, plus the newspaper people. So everyone is, anxiously watching for trends to happen or to see a candidate walk in the door. Mm-hmm. And I can proudly say I ambushed the governor as he walked in the door, and we were the first to go on air with the way he felt about winning his race. That was crazy. I mean, the hundreds of people milling around. You thought that was hot. This is hot. Went in there in a room full of folks and all these TV lights.
Now you said that was the state, the state elections, correct?
State and municipal elections.
What about, did you cover tribal elections by any chance?
Not really. We had correspondence or contacts in those places, because, to get to somewhere like St. Mary's in the middle of the state. An airliner will only go so far, and then you have to hop a puddle jumper to go the rest of the distance. Exactly. So it was tough. Sometimes people who were in charge of the elections were kind of lax in getting this stuff moved on. Others were real quick and bang, bang, bang.
Mm-hmm. We want to make not just a little announcement. Another reporting locations come in. Looks like Holdenville. Southern Hughes County, is that Tickabuchee District? I think that's Tickabuchee District. Holdenville has reported us coming in. Like Gary brought up, these numbers are they're growing. They're growing, and it looks like they're coming in pretty quick. So we're just going to keep waiting until all the other polling places are able to report as well.
Now we're seeing a strong return from the southern districts there. place where Muskogee culture and language is the strongest. So that's good that the folks there are, keeping up with the times and the computers and everything else, and making their voices heard. That's encouraging.
With we want to tell the our citizens, when when you vote, you have a voice, and that voice is still, make sure your representative are coming to these community meetings. Before I go back to that, we got another prize coming up. The number has just popped up on the screen, and it is our Mvskoke Media tote bag. So please be the first caller, and you will receive that tote bag. Like we brought up earlier, at-large citizens, citizens outside the jurisdiction can win these prizes. So by all means, please call in and get that tote bag. So first caller. But what I was bringing up earlier was, you want your voice is going to be heard. And make sure that your council representatives, they're holding accountable.
Mm-hmm.
That they're showing up to these community meetings. That they're at the general sessions. They're at their their committee meetings as well. We did a little research here a while back. Not too long ago. There's a couple of absences from these committee meetings.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes, we understand. We're all at work here, too. We all have to take off. Sometimes we're sick. We got the annual and the sick leave. But, there's sometimes whenever, I was seeing, like, one time, a lot of these absences were, like, in a row.
Yeah.
In a row with these. So, that's one of the big things you got to do, like hold these National Council representatives accountable to be there. And we just got a winner of the Mvskoke Media tote bag, and I hope I'm saying this right, but her name is Judy Osmus. I'm saying that. We hope I'm saying that right, Judy. If we're not saying that right, we apologize, but we want to tell you congratulations on receiving the Mvskoke Media tote bag. And again, from Gary and I and the rest of the Mvskoke Media staff, thank you for staying with us for the live stream. For our, this is our pretty much initiation, quote unquote, into doing this. Fire. With like I said, trial by fire, with our freedom of press. Being able to do this, being able to get this out to you, the citizens, whether you're here within the Mvskoke Creek Nation jurisdiction or whether you're at large. And we got strong. I'm going to say coalitions, but communities, out in California. We got them in Tennessee. They're there, and their voices need to be heard as well. And so we're glad that you're tuning in with us and that you're able to be with us at this time. And we just skipped a couple on the set. We're at 7 of 19 polling places, so it looks like Sapulpa has just showed up, and Coweta. So they have reported those in, and like I said, we got Would that look like 12 more to come?
Yeah.
12 more to go?
But
we're getting there. We're getting there. Wagner District, Mark Randolph has 1,025 votes. Creek District, George Tiger has 728 votes. Patrick Freeman has 657.
Ooh, neck and neck.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting close on that one. McIntosh, Adam Jones III, 1165. Tom Pickering, 689. Muskogee District, Joyce Deere, 1010. Eddie LeGrand, 456, and Jessina Brown, 415. Mvskoke District got Sandra Golden at 539, and Franklin Coachman at 437.
Close race.
Yeah, those are close races too. I think they got the glitch fixed on Okmulgee District. James Jennings, 659. Carmen Tecumseh Williams was at 410. Dukabuchi District, Thomasina Osborne at 791, and Edwin Marshall's at 471. I think David Jimboy's at 274. And there we go with Tulsa District. Lucian Tiger, 717, and Sheriff Giles at 459. Mark Randolph, 1025, and Timothy Jackson Jr., 671. I want to bring up real quick, and Jared and Gary, y'all both can answer. Do y'all remember whenever at time before we could vote for everybody in the National Council? Yes. We could only vote in our district. So, like, if we lived in the Okmulgee District, do y'all remember when that change happened? Because I remember it happening. I just don't remember when. whenever it was
Was it 2012 or was it before that?
Was it the 2013 election?
Yeah, it was 13 or 12. I'm not for sure which one. I'd have to look up the
yeah,
actual
we'll have to look that up. But I remember that was a big thing that a lot of citizens were bringing up as well because, of course, at that time, a lot of the National Council representatives, all they went to was their certain districts. Now
Yes.
that they're the voice of the people, and not just in their district, they're the voice of all the people within the Mvskoke Creek Nation jurisdiction. So they had, and when they opened up those districts to everybody, you know, they started having to go to those places too to be able to tell them what's going on with the National Council, what's going on with legislation. You know, they have to keep the citizens updated.
Well, that is part of their responsibility. I mean, they don't just live and work for the people in a certain district like, Twin Hills or Hannah or something like that. When they get into that council, they're voting on issues that affect all Mvskoke citizens. And I think a good change had occurred there. It seemed to get rid of the old buddy system.
Yeah, exactly.
And gave all of our citizens the chance to select their leadership on a more equal basis.
Yeah. It jumped up a couple more polling places that come in. It looks like 9 of 19. Hannah has come in, and Glenpool. Glenpool. So is that your area?
Yeah. So I guess those other 59 voters showed up.
Whenever I showed up, I think I voted about close to 5 p.m. So of course I had a little bit over 2 hours before the polling was closed there. But we were at 332. That was the number.
Wow.
Now, whenever I showed up, there was the election board people that was covering it, but also I think there was 2 others in there. So, I'm hoping that there must have been quite a bit at one time, but I'm hoping that a lot more showed up after I left.
Yeah, it could be the football game was over or halftime, I think. I kind of jokingly asked the poll workers and said, what happens? They said, well, if it's football, then they're not going to be here till late. Or it's halftime, then they all come in a clump and bang, 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 and all vote, and then they're gone. So it's interesting to see how athletics and politics mix or don't mix sometimes.
Another polling place is just
Dewar.
Got a check mark? Yes, Dewar. Dewar has just showed up, which is not that far from us. I think approximately 14 miles from the Mvskoke Creek Nation capital here in Milwaukee. So Dewar, thank you very much. And these polls are moving right along. We see right there with Wagner District, Mark Randolph at 1168. Creek District, George Tiger 808. Patrick Freeman 723. And Tony Bell 613. Those numbers are coming up too. McIntosh, Adam Jones III 1334. Tom Pickering 759. Next is Mvskoke District. Joyce Deere is 1123, Eddie Legrone 515, and Jessina Brown 484. Mvskoke District, Sandra Golden 570, Franklin Coachman 492, Travis Scott 466, and there we go with Milwaukee. James Jennings 747, Carmen Tecumseh Williams 470, Grover Wynn 349.
How are you guys doing? Do you guys want to swap out or take a break or
We
anything?
can take a little quick.
Jessica just texted me. She said she could swap out with somebody if he wants to.
We can take a quick break. We're going to leave the polls up on the screen.
Sure, we're going to leave the polls going. We'll bring some music in. You guys can watch the polls for a few minutes, and these guys are going to take a potty break, and then we'll be back at the desk.
Thank you very much. Please stay tuned to Mvskoke Media with our live stream of the Mvskoke Creek Nation National Council.
I'm sorry, guys. We got one more giveaway.
One more.
We're going to pause on that break. So
It's not happening right now.
It's not happening right now, but
in a little while.
In a little bit, we'll like we
This
said.
is the big giveaway that's coming up. So when the number pops up, when you see it on the stream, call in, and then after we do that giveaway, we'll take a little break and we'll keep the results coming.
Yeah, we got another.
Tulsa just showed up.
Tulsa just showed up. That leaves right now Shakota, Eufaula, Yardika, Walika, Okmulgee, Twin Hills, Dustin, and Wetumpka. Funny, Okmulgee's just right across the street. So, but
we're surrounded by Okmulgee.
And it's amazing. We got Tulsa, we got Tulsa, Glenpool, Sapulpa, the urban places, but then also it's pretty cool to see the Dewar, Dustin, Yardika, Hannah, the rural areas. They're out there and they're voting as well, and so we want to thank y'all for doing that, for having your voice heard for these elections. So we hope you keep doing it, please. Not just a one-time thing. We know these national council reps. They go their seats are every 4 years. So it comes up. So it'll be and for us, when we're not, it's election every 2 years. It seems like, because seat B, will come up 2 years from now. Seat A is going to be coming up along with the principal chief and second chief. And then 2 years from that, seat B again. So, all right, there it is. The Mvskoke Media studio line is come up. So be the first caller. And
this is a big giveaway. This time we're giving away the mug.
The mug is there. Looks like I'm
also
trying to
give
take a
away
drink.
a Miko shirt.
Miko shirt.
And also a tote.
Our Mvskoke Media tote bag, which is upside down, but you got the idea. So please be the first caller for that prize, and we will announce it whenever that happens. So again, thank you very much for staying with us for the live stream of the National Council Seat B election. So we're moving right along, and it's 12 of 19. Who is that? Oh, Yardika. Did I mention that? Yeah, Yardika showed up. They are in the 12 and 19 polling places. Mvskoke District, Joyce Deers, 1212, Eddie LeGrone, 548, Jacina Brown, 524.
So we're over the hump as far as districts now.
Yeah.
So those still are significant districts that are yet to be counted. They're primarily the rural kind of communities there that we're looking for, and we'll be watching those trends as it goes on.
All right, we got a winner for the prize of the Miko T-shirt, the Mvskoke Media mug, and the Mvskoke Media tote bag. Selena Watashi, congratulations, Selena, for being the winner on that one. I want to thank you very much for being on the live stream with us and watching with us for the election as well. So again, Selena, congratulations. So moving right along, we got 13 now.
Well, at this point, you guys want to take a little break?
Yes, that break is.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back here probably within a couple of minutes. I think we're going to have some new people at the table, and we'll keep going over these results.
stay tuned, because whenever we come back, we're going to be having another giveaway come up. So please stay tuned to our live stream of the National Council Seat B election. Welcome back. We are here with Mvskoke Creek Nation National Council Seat B election. The polling places are moving right along. We got 4 left to go: Shakota, Eufaula, Dustin, and Wetumpka. And I have a new person that's with me right now. We're giving Gary Fife a break, and this is our editor, Jessica McBride. Jessica, how are you doing?
Oh, it's, a great day here at Mvskoke Media, and I was just telling Gary, I'm really glad that we did this. This is the first time that we've actually done a live stream with the election results, and we seem to have a lot of interest, people watching, people excited to see the results of how the vote turned out. I was going to ask you, Darren, some people are hesitant to vote, or they don't know what voting is like in the precinct. What is that like? Take me through the process.
When I went in today, usually there was a couple times past elections, there'll be long lines. There's long lines that were just going throughout the door. But, as soon as you get up there, you have to show either your voter identification card or your ID. Now, usually, that last time that I was there before today, they had they would look your name up. Well, now they have it on an iPad. They just type in your birthday, and then it shows like a list of names that show up, and then they look at make sure that's your Darren DeLon or whoever, so-and-so, and then they give you your ballot, and they tell you to go to one of the polling places and be able to cast that vote. One of the cool things I got to do, my daughter was with me, so she got to see what it was like too, and she was, I remember she goes, okay, she goes, a little bit over 4 years from now, I finally get to vote. So, she was actually happy about it. That was pretty cool to hear that. Wanted to bring up real quick, Jessica, we got 3 more polling places to, another polling place report, so that makes it 16 of 19, so that makes it, how many left? Let's see, who's all left, Jessica?
Looks like we've got 3 left, so we will have Shakota, Eufaula, and Wetumpka. Results should be coming in shortly. One of the things I had talked to the election board about was the introduction of this electronic process. Like Darren said, if you didn't have identification there, they were able to look you up on an iPad and see whether or not you had voted or not. See if you had tried to vote at a different district and things like that. So it's supposed to make it a lot faster. I know during the last election, it took a little bit for the results to actually come in. Some of the results weren't coming in until late in the evening, 10 to midnight. And as you can see, it looks like we're only waiting on 3 polling places left. And, we're not even at 9 o'clock, are we?
No, we're not, yeah. I was telling, we were talking about a little war stories when it came to the election. There was one time, I had to sit there and wait till 5 in the morning to update everybody, because at that time, I was the one that updated the website, so I had to do that myself. So just trying to keep one eye open, making sure that when that email come in, I was updating as well. And those are rough. Like I said, 5 in the morning, but like I said, now it's not even what'd you say? What time?
Oh, it's 8:09.
8:09, and we already got 16 of 19 polling places here. So it's a great improvement. Update. And there we go with our Mvskoke Media studio line. You'll be getting this Mvskoke Media mug.
It's very fancy. I have one myself and drink coffee out of it daily.
So please be our first caller. We'll announce your name on the live stream, and you'll be getting the Mvskoke Media mug. So back to the polling places.
One question I kind of wanted to address. We had a citizen call in and was asking about the debates held at the different community centers. We don't have the staff or the capabilities to really go to each one of those forums to publicize them or anything like that. But any time that a community has live streamed them, like on Facebook, we will share that information so citizens that are outside of that community and even outside of the jurisdiction can hear what the candidates have to say. But I also wanted to remind citizens that we are doing debates, and this is the first time that we've done this. They are going to be video debates. We're going to bring in the two candidates that are chosen out of this primary election and to discuss the issues, and we want to hear from you. If there is an issue that you would like to discuss, give us a call and let us know, and we'd be happy to ask those questions to the candidates.
All right, we've got a winner. That number's taken down, so that means, like I said, we have a winner. Sandy Allen. Sandy Allen, congratulations. You're the winner of the Mvskoke Media mug. Excuse me. So, I know they're getting your information to be able to get that to you. So again, Sandy, congratulations. And we also brought up earlier from everybody here at Mvskoke Media, thank you very much for staying here with us on the live stream to get the updates of these elections, of the election, of the Seat B election. So another thing I was wanting to bring up too, and it was back to the debates that you're bringing up about the general election.
Mm-hmm.
We're only going to be able to have those debates in two, correct? I mean, not two, but in, was it six or?
We're doing the debates by district. So 2 of the districts this evening could be decided tonight. That's McIntosh District and Wagner District. And as you're seeing those districts scroll by, you see that they only have 2 candidates in those districts. What it takes to win the election in the primary is 50% of the votes plus 1. So they don't have to have 51%. It's just 50% of the votes plus 1 more vote than the other candidate. So McIntosh District and Wagner, Rogers, and Mays could be decided tonight, most likely will. Those candidates will still be invited in to participate in the debates. And we will discuss like what their platform is, what they hope to bring to the National Council. Darren, I wanted to tell you, it looks like Wetumpka is now reporting.
Yes.
So we've got
Great.
17 of 19 polling places reporting. We are just waiting on, looks like McIntosh District,
Yes.
you know, Shakota and Eufaula. For those of y'all who don't live in Oklahoma, that's a little bit further out than Okmulgee, you know, and some of the other closer places. So it may be taking a little bit to actually get those ballots or whatever information they need from the polling places in.
But it's moving right along. Like I said, we're within like over a little bit over an hour, probably close to an hour and a half of the polls being closed, and we already got 17 of the 19 reported in. So that's that's pretty amazing to hear that and to see that firsthand.
It's been really good, you know, to have this live stream and be able to provide this to the citizens, and we want to be able to provide as much information as you as a voter needs to know in order to make your decision. You know, previously we did some newspaper profiles, and the candidates would fill out the information like their name, their clan, their family, their tribal town, their church, their ceremonial ground, and we don't know if that's all you need in order to make your decision. So we wanted to kind of give the candidates a way to give you their platform, what their beliefs are, so that you can make the best decision possible when you're checking that box.
Let's go to the polls real quick. Looks like we have, we'll go with Wagner District. Mark Randolph, 1675, and Timothy Jackson, 1017.
That's 62%. Let's see, we've got 18 of 19 places reporting. Shakota has started coming in. So it looks like we only have Eufaula left. In the McIntosh District, Adam Jones with 1827 votes to Tom Pickering's 1,036. Going on to the Mvskoke District, we've got Joyce Deere in the lead with 1,495.
Mvskoke District, we got Sandra Golden with 689, Franklin Coachman with 688, Travis Scott 676. These are neck and neck, guys. These are getting close, down to the wire. Okmulgee District, go ahead, Jess.
James Jennings is in the lead with 1,048. We've got Thomasine Osborne in the lead for the Tuckabutchee district with 1,254. What you'll notice with some of these districts with more candidates, of course, they get lesser percentage and whatnot, and so that's part of the reason why you go on to the general election and have two candidates so that you can make the best decision. And one candidate who maybe only has 20% of the vote isn't winning out in the primary election.
You know, one thing to bring up is that even though, like we mentioned earlier, even though the polls are closed for the primary, I mean, that doesn't mean we're not, you still can't vote in the general election.
You can still vote. So
Yeah.
they're going to start taking registrations for absentee and precinct on September 20th. They've got to give themselves time to wrap up the primary election, and then they'll start registering people to vote again. So if you missed your chance to vote in the primary election, call the election board office. Go on the website, mcn-nsn.gov. Go to the Independent Agencies Election Board. All that information you need to know is there. They've got an email address, a fax number. They've also got a phone number, so you can register. You can register for the precinct and the absentee. Absentee voting will close on October 12th. They have to have your ballot or your registration by 5 p.m. and then absentee ballots will be mailed out October 16th. So if you didn't get a chance to register or for the precinct or the absentee, go ahead and call the election board as of September 20th and get that registering. We wanted to give a shout out to Jabon Gouge. He's watching from Tennessee and he says, good job.
Thanks,
Jabon. Thanks,
And
G. We appreciate it.
And it looks like we're at 19 of 19, so it means all polls are reported in. So we're just waiting right along with you, everyone. And like I said, these numbers are growing as we speak.
It's important to remember too, these results will not be finalized until next Friday at 5 p.m. There is a protest period, and so the election board will have that protest period from September 18th to September 22nd. Any candidate or any citizen who voted can protest the election results, so they can go in and to the election board to do that. And then as of 5 p.m. on September 22nd, if no protests are received, the election board will finalize those results, confirm them. That's why we're not doing the debates until the week after. We're beginning those debates the week after so that we can wait for the election results to be finalized. It looks like McIntosh District, if all the results are finalized, we've got Adam Jones winning with 2,005 votes. We've got Joyce Deere. This one could be close and could be decided tonight for the Mvskoke district. And then for the Mvskoke district, we've got Frank Coachman with 749.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Well, I was just going to mention that it's 51% though.
No. It's 50%
or
plus one vote.
Oh, okay.
So if they receive 50% of the vote and have one vote more than the candidate underneath them, then I believe that the election board will certify that they have won the primary election and there will not be a general election for that district.
Coming up with Wagner District, Mark Randolph has 1,848. Timothy Jackson Jr. has 1,180.
For the Creek District, we've got George Tiger with 1,158 and Patrick Freeman in a second with 1,064.
McIntosh District, Adam Jones with 2,005, and Tom, I didn't get to that number. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Mvskoke District, Joyce Deere with 1,588, and she's at 50%.
Right, and she's at 50%, so it looks like we may have 3 races decided tonight. I'll wait until they scroll by to kind of announce those. We've got some bigger districts that are up right now, like Okmulgee, that has several candidates in it. So most likely those candidates, there will be a general election. One thing to remember, you can vote all districts. So you don't just have to vote in the district that you live in. You can vote for every district. As an absentee voter, or if you live in Tulsa, you still vote for every district. Mark Randolph looks to be the winner for the Wagner district with 1,848. He's got 60% of the vote. For Creek District, we've got George Tiger with 1,158 votes with 36% of the votes.
Wow, that's a tight race.
That's a tight race. That one will go to the general. But it appears Adam Jones will win the McIntosh District. since there are only 2 candidates, as well as Joyce Deere. There are 3 candidates in that district for Muskogee, but she has the 50% plus 1 vote.
Franklin Coachman at Mvskoke District got 749, and Travis Scott at 741. And next is Okmulgee District with James Jennings with 1,110, Carmen Tecumseh Williams with 645.
Tuckabuchee District, Thomasine Osborne with 1,379 to Edwin Marshall with 735. I believe, and Jared, please correct me, they will take in any time that a candidate does not reach the 50% plus 1, they will take the top ranking candidates in that district, and those 2 will move on to the general election.
Yeah, I believe that's how it works. We need to start looking and seeing if the numbers are changing now at this point, because if all of the districts have reported and these are the final results, I don't see any final anything, so
Yeah.
At that point we can shut everything down. We have
One of the things that we will do is we've got a link to this page provided to us by the election board, so we will be posting this link to social media and to this YouTube page. So if you're watching this YouTube page after we've stopped going live, you can go down to that link, and if you want to watch it throughout the night, you can watch the results.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, also, if y'all heard that whispering earlier, that wasn't ghosts or honkers or anything. Everybody here at Mvskoke Media is all in this room, and they're reporting
We've got a
what's
lot
going
of
on as
staff
well.
members that are
Yeah.
excited. This is the first time we've actually done
Well,
this.
we just popped the number up, and we already
got
the
a winner. So Tammy Walden, she won the Mvskoke Media tote bag.
Yep.
So again, congratulations, Tammy, and thank you very much
Congratulations.
for.
This is probably, I think, going to be our last giveaway for the
yeah.
night, because
And
we've got all the districts.
Thank you so much, Tammy, for watching the live stream and being on board with us.
Absolutely.
For the polls.
And for those of y'all that are watching after we finish this, or maybe you're watching right now and you're excited about this, we're going to do the same thing for the general election. So tell your family, tell your friends. We're going to have a watch party for the general election, and you can watch the results with us. And I figure we'll have some giveaways for that too.
Yes, we will. Chances are we will. So we're going to keep everybody busy on general
Now,
election
James
night
Jennings'
too.
results didn't change from the last few times that it scrolled through. It's still 110.
Neither did Tuckabuchee District
Yeah,
with
that's the
Thomasine
same. So I
Osborne,
think we've got our finality here, guys. How do you want to wrap up?
Let's see. Let's remind them that while it looks right here that they're finalized, they still have the protest period, which is still, these are not official until next Friday at 5 p.m. That's September 22nd.
Right, and that's if the election board does not receive any protests. If there's any protests, there'll be a whole process to that, and you'll be able to find out if there is a protest. We will cover it at MvskokeMedia.com. So they have candidates and citizens have until 5 p.m. on September 22nd to protest the results of the election and issue a challenge. And then if that does in fact happen, we will bring you information on that to let you know. But a couple of things to remember. If you didn't vote in this election, you still can vote in the general election. Go to mcn-nsn.gov. Go to the election board page, get that phone number, get that email address, fax number, and get registered to vote for the general election. We'll also be providing the debates. We will start those the week after the protest period, and we are doing debates for each district. If a candidate won their district outright this evening, we will still invite that candidate in as more of a profile to tell us what their goals are, what they plan to bring to the council. It appears as of right now that 3 of those districts have been decided tonight. Again, the results are not final until the election board finalizes them at the end of the protest period. So we'll be providing debates. We've already got video profiles and the news profiles available at MvskokeMedia.com, so you can read up on your candidates and make the best choice for you.
So it looks like we're going to be coming to the end of this live stream for the Mvskoke Creek Nation National Council Seat B election. We want to thank everybody for being on live with us and watching the polls as well, and all the callers coming in too for the prizes.
Congratulations to all of you. And if you're just tuning in, we will have the link to these results in the YouTube page as well as at MvskokeMedia.com and our social media pages. So if you tuned in late or you want to watch the results until 2 a.m. like Darren used to, then we'll have that link and you can watch through this evening. But other than that, I guess we're good to wrap up.
Have we gone through and given the results for each district, like what the actual results are going to be on the audio side?
I don't think we have for the audio side. So it appears that we will have 2 candidates for Creek District, George Tiger and Patrick Freeman Jr. for the general election. And then Adam Jones will win the McIntosh District this evening. There will not be a general election for that district. It also appears that Joyce Deere will win the Mvskoke District in the primary against the other 2 candidates. And then we will have a runoff in the general for Okfuskee between Frank Coachman and Travis Scott.
And then we got Okmulgee District. It looks like we're going to have a runoff between James Jennings and Carmen Tecumseh Williams. Next will be Tickabuchee District with Thomasine Osborne and Edwin Marshall will be in the runoff for in the general election.
Tulsa District, the general election will be between Lucian Tiger III and Shara Giles. And then Wagner District, Mark Randolph will take home the win this evening in the primary since there are only 2 candidates in this district. Again, these results are not finalized until the election board makes them final after the protest period ends on September 22nd at 5 p.m. And that's given if there's no protests.
And we also want to bring up, please, for everyone that's watching us, give us feedback on, how we did with the live stream, any pros and cons.
Anything that we can help to make your decision easier to vote. What information matters to you? Is there a certain question that's on your mind that you think candidates should answer? Give us a call, send us an email. All of our contact information is available at MvskokeMedia.com. You can go to About, you can call the main line, or if you've got a reporter you're a fan of, call them, send them an email. All that contact information is online. Darren's pointing at himself. He's volunteered to take all the phone calls and the emails.
No, I was talking about the favorite reporter.
But we have all of our coverage at MvskokeMedia.com. We also share it on social media. If social media, Facebook, Twitter is your method of getting in contact with us, shoot us a message or comment on the stream. Let us know your thoughts. Give us feedback. We want to provide the best information for you. This is the first time that we've actually done a live stream and handled an election just like this with the debates, the video profiles, and the new format for the news profiles. So we want to hear from you.
So again, thank you very much for staying with us. I think we're going to go ahead and go off the air now. And so from Darren DeLon, Jessica McBride, and everybody here at Mvskoke Media, Gary Fife, Jared Moore, and Kevin Barnett, we want to thank you all. And the rest of the Mvskoke Media staff, thank you for staying with us. And we'll be seeing you for the general election. So have a good night.
Mado.